All right, so welcome to episode. I guess it's an episode, but to number 4 of the part 4. That's what it is. It's a part 4 of our 4-part series, Designed to Dream. My name is Denise Walsh. If you're listening on YouTube later, thank you for that. And for those of you that have been live with us all 4 weeks, I want to thank you for your time commitment, but honestly, thank yourself. Because I can share this information, I can use it myself, I can design my own dream, but you are the one that is going to take it and use it for your own life. So, do we need to be muted? Apparently I can mute everybody. There we go. Thank you, Janelle. Got it. Okay. So with that being said, I can create my own dream, but for your life to change, you get to create your own dream. And that is what this is all about. So in week 1, we talked about getting uncomfortable with here. In week 2, we said, you know what, if it was easy, we'd already be doing it. And we talked about getting over guilt, resentment, healing from those things, jealousy, the comparison game, the fears that stop us in our tracks and deter us from our destination. When really it's just a piece of the puzzle. So keep moving forward, right? Last week, we talked about what do we really want? Because in order to get anywhere, we have to create a clear there. Now, no, if you've missed any of those episodes, they are in my YouTube channel. You can go back and listen to them. If you don't necessarily have a full hour to listen to a recording, then go to my podcast. It's called Dreamcast on iTunes, Castbox, or certainly on YouTube. I'm uploading them there too. And those are just 10-minute snippets of a lot of this information, which may be a bit more digestible. But today we are going to take that dream life that we created last week, the dream day, the dream 7 areas. Really, we allowed the Holy Spirit to speak to us and to stir things up. And we're going to take that and we're going to create an action plan. Because again, calendar is king. We can want a lot of stuff. We can, what do they say, analysis paralysis, right? Where we are doing so much research that we don't ever take action. And guess what? Most things never change. So if you were on the last recording or the last, what is it? It was what do I want? We talked about the 7 areas of life. And so get that back out. We had you identify and describe what an ideal day or an ideal business dream life, and like a dream financial life, dream family life, dream friendship, etc. We asked you to get detailed about what that looks like for you. And today, we're going to pick one thing that we want to work on first. Just one. And the goal, you guys, is to follow through with that one until it's fruition. And then we can go back and we can pick another one to work on. So I chose business for these examples because this is a business call, essentially. But you can choose anything. And the goal is that it would quantum leap you. It would maybe have a domino effect and impact the other aspects of your life. For example, health would impact your business because when you show your before and after pictures, when you feel better, when you're more confident about the products, etc., you will feel awesome. And that could domino into business, into relationships because you're more confident. Business can quantum leap you because it can impact your finances. You can become debt free. It can impact your friendships as you hang out with all the fun, positive people we have on our team. I mean, they all kind of bleed together, but the goal is that you pick one. This year for me, I chose to write the It's called the Dream Life Workbook. And basically it's like a longer version of all of these activities all in one, because I knew that if I could have one thing that I could then use for presentations, that I could like streamline, like that would quantum leap me to the next level. 2 years ago, it was getting 2.0 to triple. Getting 2.0 to triple, we did that in 1 year. That got us to Black Diamond. That was like a quantum leap goal. It bled into the other areas, but that one was the one that, when focused on, would take us up a few more levels. So what is that for you? Again, it's something that will quantum leap you, or it will domino effect into the other areas. So in the chats, if you could share which one you have chosen, that will help with my examples. Which one do you want to focus on first? Business, health, business. Awesome. Yep. Business, health. I think that those are often, like, when I think about this, I think of business, health, and family. Because in my mind, like, those are they're my top three. A lot of times they're a lot of people's top three, because we don't want to sacrifice one for the other. And so I really do believe that we can thrive in all of those areas. Perfect. Good, because all my examples have to do with business and health. So that was easy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this dream, this vision of what we want for our lives, and then we're going to turn it into a goal, which means we get to put a deadline on it. We get to be a bit more specific as to what that looks like for us. You can choose to do 2 different things. I'll do a business goal, and then I'll do a personal goal or a health goal. But you could say, I want to go diamond. That's the vision, right? There's 2 different ways to create the goal. One is kind of the end goal, target goal. I'll call it target goal. Target goal. And that says, I will be diamond by March 31st, 2018. The goal is that the point of that goal is that you can say on March 31st, 2018, yes or no, did I do it? An outside person looking in can say yes or no, you did or did not achieve that goal. I think for what we're doing, we probably would be a bit better served with a process goal. And what this means is that this is something you can control. So I will be diamond is a bit elusive. It's kind of like, okay, but how do I get there? It's like, there's a lot of steps. And so the process goal is some of those steps. I will contact 50 people a day regarding my business between now and March 31st. Or I will work 3 hours a day. I will work 6 hours a day. I will work whatever hours you've got in your calendar regarding my business between now and March 31st. The goal with this specific exercise is that you want to take your dream, this is what I want, and you want to make it tangible. Again, it's in positive form. It is, you set a specific date, you're saying it in, like, you're already doing it. And an example health goal could be, I will weigh 130 pounds by February 1st, 2018. So on February 1st, I will get on a scale and I will see. Or a process goal would, I will stay on track, meaning I'm following my macro plan that I'm doing. I'm working with my coach. I'm working out 6 days a week. I will work out 6 days a week. I will stay on my healthy eating plan 6 days a week. One day I'll have off. One day I'll have a cheat day, that kind of thing. It's a process goal. And then I can look at my calendar and I can say yes or no, I did or didn't achieve it, right? So at the end of your goal time, you want someone else to be able to say, good work, you did it. Or, okay, what happened? Why didn't you achieve this? So we take the dream and now we're going to put legs on it. So, okay. Couple questions. Since conference is in February, Janelle, I have no idea. I have not privy to that information. They only tell me information that they want to get leaked out. I just don't think they tell us that stuff anymore. Yep. All right, so Teresa's goal is to lose the last 15 pounds of 130 or 150. Her goal is 150 total. She's been doing it in 20-pound increments. She is almost to the end. Awesome. Good work. Good work. Double diamond by April. Awesome. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to get out your calendar. So if you have your It Works calendar, which mine is in my backpack, which is not here. So if you have your It Works calendar, I want you to get that out. And what we do with this end date is we start there and work backwards. So if your goal is to go double diamond by the end of April, you want to go diamond in February or March, whatever it is. You want everything to be in place by the beginning of April, so you're just focusing on volume all month long. You know, so you've got to, we want to have that end goal and then we work backwards from there. If your goal is Ruby by the end of February, then how many distributors do you want to have in place? What does the volume look like? Decide the goal and then we're working backwards. But before we get there, I jumped ahead. Hold on a second. We're going to get back to the calendar in a minute. Before we get there, what we want to do is we want this to become so fermented in our mind, because this is what will happen, you guys, is we will say we want something, we'll get excited about it, and then the self-doubt from part 2 will creep in. And we'll start to say, yeah, right. We'll start to have fear. We'll start to have haters. We'll start to have all these things that creep in. And the affirmations and visualizations connected to the goal will help you to survive that and stay focused. So the affirmation is all about I am. So I am diamond. I am 130 pounds. I am fit. I am debt-free. I am. And then what would a person doing that action look like? What would they be doing? If you are owning diamond, what would a diamond be doing? If you're owning ruby, what would a ruby be doing? If you're owning triple, what would a triple be doing every day? If you're a fit, what would a fit person be doing every day? Yes, Erica, I am disciplined. Yes, we'll talk about that next, because honestly, that's the key. It's like making it so habitual that you don't even think about it anymore. Brandon told me today that I'm the most consistent person he's ever met regarding exercise. And it's because it's so part of who I am, it would be weird not to. And he doesn't know that many people, but still, I'll be proud. We've been together for a long time. But with that being said, like, it's a part of who I am. And so exactly, when it becomes a part of who you are, then it's easy. So affirmations help to get your mind in a place where you're starting to own the action that you're looking for. Because again, what we don't want is to say a goal and have this big, like, yeah, right, not going to happen. I'm forever overweight. I'm forever tired. I'm forever, etc. And so we're trying to take this goal and match our emotion to what we want. That's how you create momentum in an area. So the affirmations really work to solidify your belief about yourself, that internal confidence. Visualization takes it a step further and it cements it in your mind. Now, this is the part that gets me so stinking excited, because this is like a science. It's like the gravity. Like when you drop something, it falls. Like it just has to. That's the rule. Affirmations, visualization, turn something on in your subconscious, and your subconscious has to figure it out. They have to figure out how to make it happen. And an example of this, like the science behind it, is called your reticular activating system. Your reticular activating system. And what that means is that, have you guys ever looked for a car? You go test driving, you're like all of a sudden looking online for a car, and all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. Maybe it's like this weird Volkswagen Beetle, and now all of a sudden you see him everywhere. Brandon like really wants a Tesla, and so now he's seeing Teslas everywhere, which I don't know how you can tell, but he can. What about you're pregnant? Like all of a sudden, not all of a sudden you're pregnant, but you're pregnant, and all of a sudden half the world's pregnant. Like you notice that kind of thing, right? That's called your reticular activating system. What you think about, you see more of, and it's scientific, like it's proven. So if that's the case, why don't we choose what we see by choosing what we visualize? And that's what we will start to see more of. So let me see some questions. Oh, Tori said she put Disney Dream Cruise on her dream board, and that now she's seeing commercials everywhere. It's a sign. Jeeps everywhere because she's winning the Jeep. Yes, Tammy, they haven't drawn that yet. You are winning that Jeep. I've decided along with you. Awesome. So example of visualization of being diamond. This is what happened for me. When we went black diamond, and you guys have probably heard my story a million times, but if not, let me know. But when we went black diamond, the first year, I thought we had it in the bag, and then I let the emotions take over, and I let self-doubt take over. The second year, I was like, we want black diamond, but I had that huge seed of doubt because we missed it the first year that said, yeah, right. So it's not going to happen when you've got the goal here, but yet these little like guys back here. You can do a few things. You can either change the goal so it matches your emotion, or you can change the emotion to match your goal. So because I really did want black diamond, instead of changing the goal to match my emotion to be a bit more realistic, I changed my emotion to match the goal, which meant I pictured us walking across the stage as Black Diamond. I pictured us being announced at conference. I pictured going on the helicopter to the island. I pictured like my check. I pictured opening up my check and seeing it being over 100. I pictured, like, I just owned it. You know what I mean? Like, I wore the Black Diamond jacket through all our team power hours. I acted like it was already happening. What does a Black Diamond do? A Black Diamond is somebody who is constantly charting and looking at their team and connecting with people and signing new distributors, like working their business so consistently. So that's how I owned it. When you say a visualization of being diamond, what would a diamond person do? And then picture yourself doing that. Picture yourself walking across the stage at conference as a diamond. Picture the team volume that you want. Picture the check that you want. Picture you paying off debt. Picture like some of the goals that you're going to be able to pay cash for. Those are the types of ways that you take this dream, this like lofty, cool, that'd be fun, and you own it and then cement it into your brain, into your subconscious. The reticular activating system opens up the world to you, and you now start seeing. Have you guys ever been like, oh my gosh, she totally needs a wrap, or oh my gosh, she would totally be good at this business? Like all of a sudden your eyes are more open to seeing what you need to accomplish the goal. And what we find when you do this consistently is that the how figures it out for you. The how will completely come by surprise. It's often not necessarily in your plan. Our job is to let go of the how and focus on the goal, the affirmations, and the visualization. Do you guys have any questions about affirmations, visualization, what this would look like for you? Okay. Good question, Tia. Average diamond volume. So in order to maintain diamond, you need 10,000 group volume overall, balanced. So 10,000 group volume. When I went diamond, I had 30,000. Balanced in 4 or 5 in 5 legs, I would say. Like you really only need 2 strong legs to go diamond and 2 strong legs to go double, 3 strong legs to go triple, 4 strong legs to go presidential, 5 to go ambassador. So I would focus on 2 legs to get momentum, then build the 3rd, build the 4th, build the 5th. So yeah, there'll be 400 legs essentially. Yeah. And let me see. Oh, so an average pay for diamond is 1,000 to 3,000 depending on the strength of your volume. So if you want 1,000, have a 10,000 BV. If you want 3,000, have 30,000 BV. And of course you unlock the leadership level payouts at that time. So that's where a lot of the extra, like the leadership level bonuses compound once you've hit diamond. So I remember Stephanie and Joel Dunn saying their first diamond check, they were like, really? And then once they started getting coding, they were like, woohoo! Let's see, go visit a model home in the neighborhood. Yeah. So getting rid of doubt, daily affirmations. Yes, this is what I would do. Honestly, like number 1, just know that fear is normal. Doubt's normal. Part of it is just a piece of the puzzle. It's like part of the game. I now think of it as like, I don't know. I don't take it as seriously anymore. So instead of focusing on getting rid of doubt, I focus on what I want and make that so loud that this goes down. Because honestly, like starting a podcast, writing a book, like there's a ton of motivational speakers out there. Like, who am I to be just another one? Who's going to want to listen to me? Like, there's all these things that can come up in my mind. Who am I? Does it really matter? Blah, 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 blah. It'd be easier just to be a mom. Like, but no, I've been called for more. And I will be bored if if I'm like waiting for my kids to come home or something. So regardless, the fear is normal. I focus on what I want, my affirmations, my visualizations, my goals, and those dissipate. Doesn't mean they go away, but they dissipate, and I allow this to get bigger. So Heather, awesome. So what Heather says in her message here, she says, I've been praying for God to remove my doubts and open my eyes and heart to see me as qualified as he sees me. It's helping. Awesome. So what I would recommend with that is, like, I love the second part of what you've said. Open my eyes and my heart to see me how you see me. Because when you talk about, like, I had somebody call me or text me the other day and they said, I've prayed that God would give me a hard life so that I could be strong. And I was like, that is why you've had a hard life. Like, I'm sure there's lots of other things that go into it, but when you pray for that, like, you're getting that, you're speaking that over your life. So if you pray, and just be careful about what you're praying, even like if you're saying remove my doubts, your eyes are on the doubts. You want your eyes to be on how he sees you. So just be careful. Another thing about prayer, and this is another chapter in the book too, is that sometimes prayer can be a complaining session or a woe is me type session. What I learned in my war room was to pray victory even if I didn't see it. You know, I prayed what I wanted even if it wasn't happening quite yet. And it made a huge shift in myself and in my family. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Julia, affirm. It's not happening. Okay. So a couple things about that. I'm going to unscreen share for a minute so I can answer all your questions. One thing about that happened to me too, for sure. All 2 years ago, I was like 130 on my shower. Like every day I'd be like, my goal is to make $300,000 a month, 130 pounds, and have 30 ambassadors on my team. And then I was like, okay, I've been saying this for a long time and nothing is happening. And so I decided, I said, if I want something different, I've got to do something different. And so what I did was I started getting a bit more crystal clear on what I wanted and asking around for help. And that is when I got connected with the bodybuilding competition world. And my friend happened to try a rap. the week of her competition, right when I started saying, all right, I need to do something different, the how showed up. So even with your business, the how will show up, but sometimes you do need to tweak. You take action, get feedback, tweak. Take action, get feedback, tweak. Tia, Diamond unlocks everything in the compensation plan, and now her doubt is gone. Yeah. Part of it is like, get there, and then it's true. Every single time I hit a promotion or like busted through something, I would look around me and be like, oh my gosh, can you believe that just happened? Like, I have to tell everyone. So get there and your confidence will grow too. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, Heather. Oh, good. Sarah, thank you. I have lots of stories about the podcast too. I thought it would be super easy, and it's not, but it is easy. This is just my third microphone, and I had to retape some of them 6 times. But now that I have a system, it will be easy. I am claiming that. We've got a good interview with Carla coming out tomorrow, and she's talking all about Dr. Leaf stuff, which is like the science behind what changes in your brain when you change thinking patterns, and it changes the hormone levels that are produced. Like, there's so much. Ooh, Teresa, you only have control over 3 things in your life: your thoughts, the images you visualize, and the actions you take. Boom. Yep. Yep. You guys, you're giving everybody such good feedback. It's like you've been hanging out with us for a while. The way you word things absolutely makes a difference. Journaling, awesome, good. Okay, I just realized I have 17 to go through, so I may not be able to do them all. But, ooh, Caitlin, diamond in your first 5 months and working on double the last 23. Okay, so let me tell you what typically happens in this situation, and then we'll get back to the action calendar. But typically what happens in this situation, and this happens to ambassadors and every single level, like it's like blinders are on, your ignorance on fire, you're doing your thing, you're focused, woo, 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 you're pulling all-nighters, you're eating crackers, like you're like doing it, and then you hit a goal and you come up for air. And then you look around, and then what can happen, I'm not saying it happened to you, but what can happen is then you go, oh, what are they doing? Oh, what are they doing? Oh, what are they doing? Maybe I should do more of that. Maybe I should do more of this. When in fact, staying in your lane and staying focused and being, ignorance on fire, like keep your head down and just do what you do, and don't look left, don't look right. Don't even like breathe for a day and then get back at it. Cause, you don't want to ever get to the place where you feel like you've made it. You want to always have that consistent momentum. Okay. Julia, you can certainly message me. Ashley, every time she prays and asks guidance, God always delivers. That's awesome. Oh, yay. We haven't done the push group in a few months. We should. Okay, I made it through. Awesome. I am going to do a breakout session for you guys to have a place to talk, and maybe we can even unmute because there's not 200 today. So we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, I'm going to go into calendar. So get your calendar out. And we're going to create your action plan. So this is what I recommend when you're creating your action plan. I'm going to give you my time management tricks here. First, get out your calendar and look at it every day. Just kidding. That is kind of a tip though. And then write in your non-negotiables. So if you work full-time, write that down. If you've got family, work priorities, whatever, like write that down. No, I'm not saying necessarily hobbies. For me, exercise is a priority, so I do put that in my schedule, but I did give up youth group. I did give up volleyball. I did give up some extra things at the beginning that I was doing so I could have more time at my business. So put in the non-negotiables because we can thrive in all areas. You just want to be able to balance that. And then schedule your at works time because most of it is business. If your goal is health, then you want to schedule in your health time. And then what I would do, so if it's an hour a night, if it's 3 hours a day, if it's 6 hours a day, decide when you're working your business. And then what we want to do is to write a list of all the things that need to happen regarding this goal. So I have a list to help you. Generating leads, following up, team time, personal development. Generating leads could mean social media, parties, expos, blitzing, referrals, wrap appointments, throwing a fit. Follow-up could mean texting, email, social media, calling. Oh, I'm going to do this because I need to get better at this. Team training, charting, connecting with leaders, recognition, and personal development. The most effective way to use time that I have found is when it's blocked. So you can get fully immersed in one activity and not be doing a million things at once. I used to be proud of my multitasking skills. Any moms out there, you're like, I'm putting away dishes and paying a bill and doing all of these things at the same time. I get an award. But what we found is that the more that we're multitasking, the more we're just splitting our attention, and it's actually not helpful. You can get so much done in an hour where you can work your business, follow up, generate leads, and then leave for a while and then come back later, right? So time blocking has been a huge asset to me and my business. I would say 2/3 of your time is generating leads and following up. 1/3 of your time is working with your team. Personal development is a given. I'm not going to put It Works time related to that because that's lifetime. Like, put that in your schedule, whether you're driving to work, whether you are at lunch break, I do all my personal development while I'm working out, which is one reason why I love working out, because I watch YouTube videos and I listen to podcasts. And then batching, so time chunks. So an example for me, and this is when 7 to 9 is like kid time. So when I had a new priority, I had to rearrange my schedule so that it would fit my new priority. So 5 to 7 a.m., I decided that was when I was going to work out. 7 to 9 is getting kids up, ready for school, breakfast, all of that. And then by 9, I'm done again. 9 to noon, I worked on my breakthrough goal, my dream life goal, essentially. I'll say that. I want to use the same words. Dream life goal. Like, that's the one that's going to quantum leap you. 12 to 4, I was following up. Often during the day, I work with my leaders because they're home and leads are often at work. And then from 7 to 10 or after bedtime, I was back on the computer and doing parties and training, essentially. But I took my It Works time, and then I decided what I was going to do during that time to make it the most effective. Creating a plan is half the battle. What is it going to be for you? What does your schedule look like? What can you do to have a thriving business, health, and family situation? And then the goal is to execute. It's truly just to execute. So once you have your plan, you don't have to think, am I going to kickboxing tomorrow? You know you are. You don't have to think, am I following up with leads during lunch? Because that's what you do. You're simply executing your plan. One of my favorite books is called The Compound Effect. And he talks about the power of habits. And basically the goal is to do one thing until it's easy, and then do another thing until it's easy, and then do another thing until it's easy. And your 1% change can take you in a completely different trajectory, different life. An example of this is this guy named John. He comes home from work and he is tired, he's exhausted, and so he decides to sit on the couch and eat a bag of potato chips with ranch and watch a half-hour show. Another guy named Tom comes home from work, he's exhausted, he's tired, and he decides to unwind, to go for a walk around the block. Well, as you can imagine, the eating chips with ranch leads to one outcome. Going for a walk around the block, the same half hour, just doing something different, leads to another outcome. The first guy, that half hour eating chips turned into an hour, turned into gaining weight over the course of a year or two, turned into greasy and acne and sick and tired and bored and lonely and I don't know, all of those things. And then the other guy, the walk, turned into from a half hour to an hour, turned into a jog, turned into meeting all his neighbors, turned into joining a triathlon group. So it's truly that 1%, half an hour difference that can take you in a completely different direction in life. It doesn't have to be hard, but it does have to be consistent. So what does your day look like? What is your dream life goal, and how can you put it into your calendar so that you know it's a priority? One other time management tip is, Darren Hardy. I've got notes all over this thing. Erica, Discipline. This is a good book for you. Like when I hear the word discipline, I get excited. I don't know why. It connects with me and I'm feel joyful about it. And that is probably one reason why I love this book, because there's a lot about that. Point of the story. The next thing I'm going to talk about is ranking your schedule. So this is really interesting and connects with our business quite a bit. So when I was going, so what I want you to do regarding your rank goal is I'm going to talk to somebody who's going triple. I'll talk to you all, of course. But so your goal is triple. What I'm going to ask you is who's your double and who's your diamond. In order to go triple, you need a double and 2 diamonds. In order to go diamond, you need an emerald and a ruby. So I'm going to ask you, who's your emerald and who's your ruby? If you can read my handwriting. Who are your leaders? Then what I want you to do is to rank the importance of them. For example, if you've got somebody who's rocking it out and they're going to be your emerald for you to go diamond, you would rank that team and anything within that team a 1. Your ruby would be ranked a 2. And then anybody else would be a 3. Or if you're that new, maybe your leads and generating leads is a 1, your emerald is a 2, and your ruby is a 3. So what you would do is you would then take a look at your calendar and see, who are you doing parties with? Who am I doing team calls with? Who am I talking to the most? Are they people in the priority positions? So for example, I wanted to go presidential, which means I need a triple, 2 doubles, and a diamond. Pretty sure. Let me know if that's not right. Triple, 2 doubles. Triple, a double, and 2 diamonds. Triple, a double, and 2 diamonds. There you go. And so I was working on presidential. I did this activity, and I realized that instead of building my 2 diamonds next, I was spending so much time with the person who was already my double. Because we were friends. We'd been working together for a year. She asked me to go to her parties. I said yes. So what I realized was, instead of working on these 2 legs that are going to get me to the next promotion, I was spending too much time with these 2 legs. And so I wrote it out on my calendar, and I ranked this a 3 and a 4. And I would say, 1, 2, 1, 2. And if I was spending too much time here, then I had to say, no, not this time. Or I've got something else booked, but if I can, I will later. Or I learned to say, you've got this, girl. You got this. You got this. Because I got to be spending time with my new up and coming legs. So if you're brand new on this call and you're rebuilding, You want to find 2 people that you can work with. Generating leads and following up is always your number 1. And then the 2 people that you're working with, they would be your number 1 or number 2 and number 3. And they're the ones that you're spending your time with. But what you don't want to do is spend time on things that are not actually going to help you reach your goal, if that makes sense. So Tia, David's on your top line. He's going to go to Emerald to get you to Diamond. Anything in his team would be considered a 1 because they're all a part of that plan. So his 2 rubies are all a part of that. So anything on his team. No, for me, I don't necessarily have as much of a promotion goal right now. I have a coding goal. So if you are fully coded, like, you get a star and you're a priority, right? Yep. So, yeah. Yep. So another thing about charting is that when sometimes people get your people and sometimes people get your time. So if, like, I would say focus on one leg until there's momentum, and then they get your time and energy and training, and you start building the other leg, and you start placing in one leg, and you're putting time and energy in the other one. You know, I do think that I will tell teams, sometimes you get my people and sometimes you get my time. Sometimes you get both. Both are important. Both are important. So don't feel bad if you can't place distributors under teams or anything. It's really in their best interest to do it themselves anyway. Teresa, you're so funny. You have a star by your name, and because you're a rock star as well. Okay. So before we go into a breakout group, I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to put on some cozy music, and I want you guys to write down and practice your visualization. Because this is where we really do want to spend some time cementing it down. So think about your breakthrough goal. Write down a few of your affirmations. Oh, that's a little too, I'll just say. Oh, this is flute. This might be cool, or we'll see. All right, so I'm going to give 2 minutes on my clock. And what I want you to do right now is simply do the visualization of you achieving the goal that you set for yourself. Sarah, good question. Whatever is easier for you to visualize, because you can make $100,000 a month at a presidential. I made 30 grand a month at triple. So it's really about creating momentum within your coding groups. No worries, Karen, we're not going to break out just quite yet. So right now, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and think about the breakthrough goal. Think about the affirmations, say them in your mind. And then picture your goal already achieved. What does it look like when you pay off that debt? What does it feel like when you've lost 30 pounds? You want this to be so clear that you can come back to it at any time throughout the day. You feel excited, joyful, peaceful when you accomplish this goal. You're so proud of it. And everyone is high-fiving you. They're proud of you. Your family's proud of you. You are proud of you. Because you did what you said you were going to do. You followed through. That's fun, huh? How do you guys feel after spending a bit of time thinking about that? I would put a third at least away for taxes and have a lot of write-offs. Yeah, motivated, peaceful, feels great, hopeful. Yeah. So in my, this is part of why we did a 2020 party on the cruise. We did the 2025 party a couple of years ago. We did one this past year at my house because we want these dreams that we have to feel such a part of who we are that we just know that it's going to happen. Becky. Awesome. Yeah. I picture myself having dinner with Oprah and Rob Bell and John. Well, I just picture myself hanging out with these guys and being like, "What's up, dude?" That is what I picture. Might as well, right? Because the cool thing is with this reticular activating system and with the power of the mind, like the power of visualization, the power, we're using our imaginations anyways. We're using it often to think of fear-based thoughts, woe is me thoughts. We're often thinking about things that aren't necessarily happening today anyway, so we might as well flip it and think about what we want and think about what we want life to look like. It could be being a missionary in Africa. It could be you want to be the best stay-at-home mom in the whole earth. You want to have snacks at 3:10 when your kids come home from school, all ready to go every day. That could be your goal, and that is awesome because you decided it and you did it. That's what this is all about. Ooh, the wisdom of Sundays. I'll have to look at that, Oprah's book. All right, so with a clear mind, with our target goal right in front of us, we've got our affirmations, we've got our visualization, which cements it in our heart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about 7 minutes of breakout, and I'm going to give you a chance to go over your schedule with your partners. If you can't do the breakout, no worries, just don't say yes, no big deal, no pressure. But I'm going to do a breakout so people have a chance to talk about what their schedule is going to be. Nicole, I've got a few good personal development books I'll share with you afterwards. All right, if you are going to join the breakout room, then you'll get a little thing that says join. and then just say yes. It'll be about 7 minutes. If you are not in a breakout room, or if you're listening on the recording, then I would love for you to get out your calendar now and batch your time. Create your plan. Decide how you're going to implement this so it creates a consistent habit. For you. Okay, welcome back from the breakouts. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed brainstorming and coming up with your game plan together, because you guys, honestly, we can have the best ideas in the world, but if we don't put feet to them, then often nothing happens. And so that's what today is all about. It's creating a clear, excited game plan that you can implement easily, meaning it just becomes habit. It's autopilot. And your business is not a negotiable item. It's a part of your schedule. And that's how you create momentum, by staying focused in one direction for a period, like a long period of time. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And so when you're staying focused in one direction, creating leads, generating leads, following up consistently, you will start to feel that snowball. At first, it may feel like you're pushing a rock uphill, but pretty soon you will start to feel that momentum when not just you sign up somebody on your team, but your distributors are signing up somebody on their team, and you're both coming home from parties and you're telling each other the story, and you're talking about how, oh, we just signed up 5 customers, and I signed up the host as a distributor and put people under her, and like it's a team effort, and you're going to start to feel that too. You are feeling that. You're in the midst of your journey. All right, 2 things to end it. An hour goes by fast, doesn't it? Okay, so the first one is your focus forms your future. And you hear people say that all the time, but it's like, again, scientifically true. And what I love about all these things that we're learning is that science is backing it, and scripture has been teaching us this whole time. What you focus on gets bigger, just like a magnifying glass, which is why we want to focus on what we want. Allow the reticular activating system to do its thing. We'll start seeing it, and things will start happening. John Maxwell, my new BFF, says the secret of success is found in your daily routine. It's not the big things that get you on stage or get you to diamond. It's the little things that you wonder if they're significant at all. It's following up with that one last person. It's calling one last person. It's inviting 10 people to the team party again. It's doing those things over time, consistently, that add up. And again, if you feel like you're taking action and you're not seeing the results, then shift that action. Evaluate. We always get to a place where we say, are we continuing to move forward, or should we shift? Should we fluctuate? Should we do something a little different? But at the end of the day, it's that momentum in one direction that will carry you to the top. All right, here's my declaration for you guys. You have spent the last 4 weeks designing your own dream. And I know that whatever you decide you want your life to look like in the next year, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, your life can and will be completely different. And I want to know how. So I would love for your feedback. I don't really have a way to totally email all of you, but I'm going to create a Google Doc that will just have some questions so you can give me some feedback on these past 4 weeks. What have you implemented? What did you like? What didn't work as well? If you're not on my team, I'll get it to your leader and they can get it to you. And if you just want to message me, that's totally fine too. And I would love stories of how you've decided what you wanted and then went after it, because that's what this is all about. God puts desires in our hearts, and so often we sit on them. And what we're saying here is, no, we're created for greater things than these, and it's our job to step out and act in faith. So I declare for today, this is my declaration to you, to fellow dreamers, to fellow doers, is I declare I will put actions behind my faith. I will not be passive or indifferent. I will demonstrate my faith by taking bold steps to move toward what God has put in my heart. My faith will not be hidden. It will be seen. I know when God sees my faith, he will show up and do amazing things. This is my declaration, and this is my declaration to you. Thank you guys so much. I will post that on Facebook, don't worry. And I will see you guys at conference.